tight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com.
It's a video show, James. Do you see it? Do you see it? I want to know if you see it.
See what?
This little bitch tickler that's growing.
Oh, gosh. Is that?
Oh, you know it is. You know it is. I'm going to A. I'm going to A. We're going to a 2-shot. I need to see you. I feel like the Hulk.
You're
been working
looking
out a
like
lot.
the Hulk.
I'm working out a lot.
I'm seeing a tri.
Yeah, there's
like
a lot.
Big tricep there.
I'm becoming a massive human. I'm becoming who I'm supposed to be.
Okay.
I was Bruce Banner. Now I'm Lou Ferrigno.
So
if you're watching the video show, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Wow, that's a look. They'll say that's a look.
You know what else is the look? Is this mustache that's coming in.
Sure.
So anybody who listens to the sister show, Drinking Bros, Sports Companion in particular, knows that I lost a bet that I've got to look like Steve Prefontaine. I want to let everybody know that that's coming. It's coming real soon. Mustache is coming in. I got to get that hair dyed blonde. I think tomorrow that's going down.
Right.
You're welks. I ordered, you know what else I ordered? It was an old school Prefontaine track suit, Oregon. So that's going to be a thing for the rest of the year.
So what does that mean? You're just going to like go out in public in the suit or like what?
I haven't decided, James. I haven't decided. Probably the jacket. I'm going to probably be wearing the jacket a lot this winter.
Right. Just to pull the whole look together.
Yeah. Yeah. And it'll be a nice thing of like, oh, hey, is that Steve Prefontaine? I haven't thought about that guy in a while. I love shit like that, by the way. I love things like people that you don't think about in a while, and you're like, fuck. All right. That's awesome.
Right.
Last night was a perfect example. I saw Jill Scott trending. You remember Jill Scott, the musician?
Okay.
She's a larger African-American woman.
Oh, yes.
She also acts a little bit, dabbles in some Tyler Perry stuff.
Okay.
She was trending, and I was like, number one. And I was like, oh, this could be real good or real bad. Turns out Jill Scott is a master of the two-handed pepper grinder, the Peppercracker.
Okay.
She was performing last night and just during the middle of her set decided to fillet the microphone into really, really super graphic detail.
For a comedy set?
No.
Oh.
She is a singer, Jessie. Just said that out loud. She is a singer. She was singing last night.
I can't focus.
She used the microphone as a dick
and
proceeded to fillet shit. But it's the technique that she was using that has everybody online talking of like, whoa, I didn't know Jill Scott got down like that. I mean, here's how graphic it was. Again, pepper grinder.
Yeah, but everyone knows that's a good one.
A lot of people know that.
Yeah.
But she proceeded to lick her hand and then go for the balls after that.
She
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Why,
it is
though?
super. And then she went even into the tickling motion of the ball sack to full explosion all over her face. And then she proceeded to wipe some of it off on her fingertips and then use it as lipstick. I mean, it is 37 seconds of a complete masterpiece. Jill Scott's going to have dudes lined up around the block now.
Right.
And good on her, you know? Here's the thing. She's always been a sexy soul singer.
Okay.
Now she just proved it. Like, hey, congratulations. This isn't about... You seem shocked right now. This isn't about just the music.
But why?
Why not?
I'm really confused.
Jill
about
Scott
why.
wants people to know how she gets down. You ever see that clip of Prince fucking the stage?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same sort of deal.
Fuck yeah. That's old school R&B shit. James Brown used to do shit like that.
Okay.
And a lady busting out the two-handed Peppercracker on stage, like,
right.
Completely unexpected, especially at a Jill Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah. but kind of amazing. Good for you, Jill. Good for you, Jill. That's what I'm saying.
It's weird. I was thinking of people that I haven't thought of in a while last night.
Were
really.
You?
Like, do you remember Dido?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Remember when like Dido owes everything to Eminem and then she just like...
My tears don't...
Is it safe to say that he started the
Dido craze?
No, the thing of like the hot white girl doing a sample on your...
Still, by the way, still doing that with Halsey.
I know. I'm just saying like
Halsey
it's just
rolled
so
up to SNL.
unoriginal at this point, right? Oh, you're going to have the white chick that like sings the normal song sampling and you're going to have her actually come to the concert. Like,
yeah.
You know. No. So I guess that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh,
Dido.
The token white chick that like is going to sing the hook.
Nice. I enjoy that when people bring them out. What did they dig her up? Is that where you're...
No, I don't know why, but I like to keep myself up with dumb things like the other guy from Perfect Strangers, not Balky.
Oh.
Where's he?
Larry? Was that his name?
Seems like it was Larry, but like, again, things I can look up. I just don't. I'd rather
the weirdest
just
stories about that guy, by the way.
The other guy or Balky?
The other guy, not Balky. Balky, everybody
we know
knew.
where Balky
is. Yeah. He was doing
Balky's
reality
all
shows
over.
and all that other shit.
Balky's keeping it going.
I know where the other guy is. The other guy is not tipping in restaurants all over America.
No.
Yeah, I had a friend who used to serve him all the time. He would leave the exact amount, like calculator it. I heard he's like a real...
Of like 10%
penny
or
pincher. Yeah, like a real penny pincher, that guy. Pincher.
If you're not just doubling the first number, you're an a-hole.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
Do you know what I mean?
Just 20%.
20%.
And if you don't do it, don't go out to eat. Just sit home.
If you don't have money for that, then you don't have money to go out to eat.
That's what I say.
Which is fine.
Because you got to tip the staff.
Yeah.
That's part of the whole shit. Either that or let me ask you this.
Sure.
Do you think they should just add it in? Make it part of your meal?
Well, I mean, if you believe in socialism, then yeah.
Well, like an exact amount?
If you believe in
I don't fucking believe in socialism. Like, come on.
I'm saying if you believe in no incentive to work harder. If you believe in just however bad the waiter is, he should still get.
Well, you have more experience in the service industry over your life. What's your answer on that?
I don't.
What would you have preferred?
For big parties, I added in, which everyone does, because no one can figure out, or no one can like, if the bill's, $500, like no one wants to write that 20%. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, otherwise, no, you need to work for it.
Okay.
Because you are getting paid like, a certain amount, minimum wage, if not more. Out here, it's not.
How much did it grind your gears when you had a Larry come in and really pull out the the calculator, and just let me figure out what that is?
It's really shitty.
It's going to be $9.56 instead of $10. Where you're just like, hey, bro, you could have just rounded up 44 cents and made my life easier.
It's really shitty, and it is you do live and die on tips a little bit, and it's a weird game of roulette, because you don't know.
Yeah.
We still live in a world that not everybody, tips the right amount. And so you're always just like, you're trying to read people, like the nicest people in the world leave nothing, right? And the shittiest people, the most rude motherfuckers will like throw you 100.
Yeah.
And there's like, it's like this game keeps you on your toes.
Sure.
And makes it so you literally just try and give the best service that you can to everyone. Well, I mean, I have my own prejudice, but I'm not going to say it.
That's what Larry's doing, if you're wondering. I've had numerous friends say that. Hey, man, like 3 friends where I'm like, wow, that's fucking...
that's what
way
Larry's
too many people.
Doing.
Yeah, that's way too many people. I tell you what, why don't you look up what his character name is? I know I'm asking a lot of you. I'm gonna do the sponsors.
Really
I'm gonna dive into the sponsors. All you have to do is go to imdb.com.
Okay.
Type in Perfect Strangers.
Okay.
And that will give you your answer of the character name.
Okay.
And I
will
talk about blackriflecoffee.com. Not even close to Wikipedia, Jabes. For those of you who woke up and saw Black Rifle Coffee on MSNBC this morning, You also saw the Drinking Bros podcast, which was awesome. They did a really nice 7-minute segment on Black Rifle Coffee for Veterans Day and all that stuff, and it was great. It was really, really great. It was a long piece. You can find it online now, but it was about 7.5 minutes. MSNBC did on it this morning, and they had a nice little wink to Drinking Bros podcast, and they even cut in a clip of Humidog.
No.
Yes.
Why'd they do that?
Because they didn't listen to the rest of the fucking show.
Love it.
They did not listen to the rest of the show. That's why.
They were just like, oh, this is a fun pets, show about their pets.
Oh,
nice.
Not even close.
Right.
If they heard that Humidog episode, heads would fucking roll. Somebody would be fired. Either way, it was a great piece on MSNBC. Check it out. You can find out all the great stuff that Black Rifle Coffee is doing right now. Use the one-time promo code REVOLUTION at blackriflecoffee.com and get the subscription of the month. Boy, we ran out this morning, and it comes this afternoon. So we're just in time. Because we've had people in town. Everybody keeps drinking the Black Rifle Coffee, and they're like, fuck, man, this is really great coffee. And I'm like, I know. Can you just order some and get off my lawn with this shit? When you
have the subscription, it's kind of like you'll throw in a K-cup.
Yeah.
All day.
All day long.
Do you know what I mean? Because you're like, it's
great.
coming.
It's coming. You never have to go and get it. I love it.
I know. It feels like it's never ending.
I wish a lot more products did that. Like our next sponsor, StrikeForceEnergy.com, they do that as well, where it's a subscription where you're just like, dude, I don't even have to fucking think about this. It just shows up at my house. I'm good to go.
Right.
Because this is one of those things with Strikeforce 2, and the same with Black Rifle Coffee, especially because the holidays are here. Everybody's drinking. Everybody's coming over to drink. Friends, family. Look, it's no secret that businesses are lax during this time, and they're like, fuck off. Yeah, you can knock off early, have a few. So everybody comes over, starts making vodka and Strikeforce, and they're just like, great. I don't need Red Bull. You don't have to go to the fridge for Red Bull and all that shit. 50 fucking Red Bulls taking up your fridge for the holidays is a no-go. I'm not keeping that out in the goddamn beer fridge. That's for damn sure. That is for Zima and Wilmington Brewing Company only.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of that fridge with any of your Diet Cokes or freaking mixers. No, that's not what that fridge is for.
No.
And this is the beauty of this. Boom. Just sits on your fucking countertop or bar top, and that's it. You're done with your life. The 750 milliliter bottle is the best. Then it's a couple squirts and you're good to go.
That's if you have like a sweet bar at your house.
Yeah.
You need to have that on.
You need to have it. It is a necessity. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com. Load up for the holidays because you're going to need it for drinking season. That's what this is, really.
It really is.
Family members, Christmas. Yeah. StrikeForceEnergy.com's got you covered. Promo code REVOLUTION is always good for 20% off, and they ship everywhere in the entire world. Because we have a lot of listeners around the world, actually.
I love that.
I do, too. Australia is a big one for us.
Oi?
We get the analytics. England, and then obviously the Middle East for the men and women serving overseas.
Australia.
The next sponsor does not have a promo code for a subscription of the month because you only need a few of these bang bangers. Talking about ghostbed.com/drinking bros. Yes, that is the sister show. We're not changing it. I told him, I was like, hey, don't fucking drop $10K on a goddamn web developer or whatever. But I'm going to get into there's a guy over there who's working there, Rich Bernstein. Which that's a strong name.
Oh, Bernstein.
I miss a good Bernstein in my life.
Oh, boy, yeah. You just take him seriously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Immediately.
So he hits me up last night. He's like, hey, man, we're offering more deals for Ghostbed. And I was just like, shit. Are you kidding? Like, dude, I almost feel like buying another fucking mattress just in case like shit goes down.
Right?
It's crazy. So I'm going to read these off because this is real. Like, we already own this shit, so it's like we can't use it. But there's a Black Friday sale. So go to ghostbed.com/drinking bros. There's a Black Friday sale. You save up to $300. You get the free sheets that I keep talking about on Black Friday. That's like fucking $600 off. There's another one on this page. This is only to our listeners, by the way. Like, nobody knows about this unless you listen to the show. And the reason being is the owners, their family was all like military and first responders. We have a lot of military and first responders that listen to the show. This next one's rad. It's $800 off a matching ghost bed bundle set. Like $800 off.
What?
$300 in free sheets, or you get $200 off a ghost bed, $300 off the ghost bed Lux. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah. And they got a pay as you go plan, obviously. So it's like buy now, pay later with 0 APR for 3 years. What the fuck? I wouldn't.
3 years?
No lie. I would not offer that whatsoever. I definitely would not offer.
You guys, that's like a little bit crazy.
It's a lot. So when I opened up this email last night, and I didn't tell him that. I was just like, hey man, that's like way too much. But fuck it. So go to ghostbed.com/drinking bros.
They're smart because if you get enough people like sleeping on it, they're gonna tell other people.
Yeah,
like, you have to get this. Like, I got my dad one. Like, once you sleep on it, you will tell a bunch of people.
We stayed at the Bellagio a few times out in Vegas, a bunch, I think, right?
That's kind of our place.
Kind of, but not anymore. I'll say this. I've kind of switched over to New York, just for convenience. Because the arena's right there.
Yeah. I get down with New York.
Yeah, and I like all of those shops and bars and all that stuff. Like, we have a lot of interviews and meetings and all that stuff, so it's easier. But I like the Bellagio, but I like the beds there, and this is where I'm going with this. The mattresses in there they had nice mattresses in there, and they started selling those for a while, like Bellagio mattresses.
That's right.
And
you could get like, the whole set. Yeah.
And I was like, man, that was my favorite mattress until I had one of these things. And then after that, I was like, well, fuck that.
You're like,
you don't really get anything with the Bellagio mattress. Like, you don't, and they're not offering any goddamn deals there.
No, you're gonna way overpay.
Yeah. So go to ghostbed.com/drinking bros. Get on it. Next up, straightrazors.com.
Ooh, that's a clean cut. Smooth. Oh, you like it?
That was a two-handed pepper grinder.
Jill Scott for you.
Yeah, that was a two-handed pepper grinder in that voice. Yeah. StraightRazors.com is giving you everything you need to be a real man in this life. Shave up, shave down, shave all around.
Shave all around. Yep.
It's time to go nude, hair-wise, for the holidays. Shave everything off. Give her that gift she really wants.
I don't know. Yeah? We don't want it totally gone.
All right. Either we want a little tuft.
Can I tell you? You need a little bit of hair on a man.
All right. You need a little, like a green or like a rough? Like you're putting from the rough?
Putting from the rough? No, like a green, like a putting green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, like groomed.
Sure.
But not completely gone.
All right. Well, you can do that at straightrazors.com.
You shave up, you shave down, and you shave all around.
Around. Yeah. Yep. They've got mustache waxes, beard oils, shampoos, conditioners. They got everything to be a real man in this life. Also, their shaving kit. If you're looking to get somebody something for Christmas, like a dude, bro, a dad, an uncle who may or may not have touched you and you're not really sure. But you still need to get him a gift.
You feel like a weird kinship to him, but you're not really sure why.
And you don't know why. And you're like, man, I don't know what happened on that hunting trip. We didn't kill anything.
How many regression therapy sessions you do.
Yeah, we did not kill anything on that hunting trip.
Right. Just a lot of, cozying up.
Yeah.
Keeping warm. Just a lot of keeping warm.
Perfect gift to get him. StraightRazors.com. Get him a shaving kit. Then that'll keep him guessing as to what you remember or don't remember.
Sure.
Go to straightrazors.com.
Don't like this one.
Type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off.
I think Straight Razors would rather have my racist ringtone than that.
Yeah, maybe not.
Than that road. Than going down that road.
I don't know. Also, a perfect stocking stuffer for the holidays is when darkness falls, he doesn't catch it, and at night she cries while he rides a steed. Boom. You buy those books for your dude, you're good to go. He'll be going down on you. Yeah. Reverse Jill Scott.
Sure.
So,
do the pepper grinder? No, thank you.
No.
Stop doing that.
Yeah, stop doing the pepper grinder on me.
working.
They're available on audio, Audible, every platform available now, and paperback. Paperbacks are out. Paperback of A Night She Cries is crushing, by the way.
Paperback. Got to get that paperback.
Let's start off the show with a little How Rich Are We game. Let's start off with How Rich Are We?
Okay.
Obviously, the fires are going on in California.
Yes.
It's been a massive story.
Yes.
A lot of people have written in asking, hey, you guys live there forever. What's the fucking deal with all these fires every single year?
Yeah.
The deal is this. Because, by the way, and it's, when you see this on the news and you're like, it's hard to breathe and all that other shit. Like, we've been through it. It really is hard to breathe. And there is a fucking haze over the city that lasts for weeks. And it's awful. The air quality is awful. I mean, you essentially have to go to the ocean, but now you can't because Malibu is on fire to try to escape it. And you're just kind of stuck in this, like, smoky haze all day. Everybody's got their windows shut, cars and apartments, houses, all that shit, because you don't want the smoke coming in, because that's real. And good luck trying to get that out of your clothes. Everybody keeps asking why. I know Trump sent out a shitty, ill-timed tweet that it was dumb, that he should not have done. That, it had something to do with
not true, but yeah.
Partially, but partially not. And it's just like, either way, it's ill-timed. People are losing their houses and lives.
Yeah.
Fucking stay off Twitter, bro. I love the rest of what you're doing. Just stay off Twitter. With that being said, the reason I think that this keeps happening, and you can tell me if I'm incorrect on this, because you've lived there your entire life.
Yeah.
You also, your house, your whole neighborhood, you went through a huge fire. Was that just last year?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I can't believe that was just last year and this is already happening again. Here's what it is for people at home. These celebrities and all these things that you keep saying of like, oh man, I'm losing my house or I'm losing the thing. You're building on property and the sides of mountains and shit like that, where if there is a fire, your houses are now going to go up. The celebrities want their privacy, so they're building, these massive mega $1 million mansions on the sides or tops of these mountains, where it's just like, all right, if there is a fire, it's just going to run right up the fucking mountain and burn your shit down, because you're trying to get as much privacy as you can. And that's kind of the gig of living in Hollywood and LA. Yeah. That's why the Kardashians moved out to Calabasas. A lot of people moved out, Calabasas, because you're trying to stay away from Gen Pop. Right. And so same with all these other fucking assholes who are always on the news spouting off about, no wall, fucking segregation and whatever. It's like,
you've segregated yourself already,
yes,
so it doesn't matter.
You've already built yourself on a private fucking mountain where no one can get to you because you're worried about, photographers or whatever the fuck it is, let alone immigration, you dumb fucks. So that's why all of these houses and celebrities are losing their houses and all the shit. They've bought this real estate that is crazy expensive, and they're building houses that shouldn't be built where they're at a lot of the times. Now, there's old school people who are losing their houses where it's just like the fires jump the 101 and all this other shit that you can't prevent. But the majority of these people are building in secluded places out in the woods where it's like, hey, if you're in a fire zone, it's going up.
It's also... they start though first because it has not cooled down out there.
Right.
And it's November. Yeah. So it hasn't cooled down at all. Hasn't rained. Supposed to have rained. So if it hasn't rained into November and the dryness from the summer is still there, they get no rain. The drought is fucking real. Yeah. So it's basically just a bunch of dry brush. If something starts a little bit,
and we're talking campfires. Like, I think yours last year that was in
the one in Ventura,
wasn't it a homeless campfire?
Yeah,
he was trying to cook something.
Sulphur Mountain. Yeah. So, but the reason that it went so crazy is Santa Ana winds. Yep. Dry brush, no water. Yeah. So it's really just a matter of time before your house, unless it rains more than one day out there, it's a matter of time before everyone loses their house because it's
too dry.
It's too dry. There's not water to fight it. A, and then B, as soon as the fires start, the Santa Ana winds just take them all the way. Yeah, and for anybody who doesn't know the Santa Ana winds, you always hear about it, and you're like, what is it?
They're
amazing if it's not starting a fire.
But if you were in a fire, fucking forget it. So they come out of nowhere, and it's like 40 to 60 miles an hour where you're just like, oh,
but it's like
shit.
This really warm wind.
Yes.
So in fall or something, when you're like, again, when there's not dry brush and fires, like Santa Ana winds is like one of the most amazing things ever. Yeah. If it's not destroying things, but it's so weird and cool. But it literally just stokes a fire. It's like literally just blowing hot, like blowing onto your campfire.
Yeah, and I've told this story before in a movie, but this is about the Santa Ana winds where I caught on fire into filming a movie. I went up like it was that scene in Darnell Dawkins where I light the hands on fire. Yeah, but it was the Santa Ana winds that picked up out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. We didn't know. Yeah. And it just blew that fire onto my pants. And I was up instantly. Yep. Imagine a house or woods or anything else. Yeah. Like, I'm a human, for Christ's sakes. Yeah. Imagine like a wooden forget it. I mean, it is so fast and so quick. Firefighters don't have time to respond to that. Like, yeah. Because there's no judging of where it is coming from. So you're just like, ah, shit, this is on fire, this is on fire, this is on fire. So that's why you keep seeing that on the news where you're like, all right, why is this happening in all these different weird places? Once that gust of wind hits out of nowhere, it just carries the fire instantly and you're gone. And the reason why I say how rich are you is not only because of the houses of where they're built, but then the ones that are saved, like Kanye's house, Kanye and Kim Kardashian, they hired private firefighters to protect their $60 million mansion. Is that real? That is real. That is 100% real.
That doesn't seem right.
I looked into it. Yes, you can. And you can hire out, and that's fine. I don't even know where to go for something like that.
So they're going to let other people's houses burn and just save yours?
No. So within, I guess, where their house is in this cul-de-sac, and again, I saw it from a helicopter shot. Okay. Same thing. They're on top of a fucking mountain. Like the fire is just going up and everything's going to go down. And
they didn't send them over to Caitlin's, I guess, huh?
She kept her house, or she, whatever the fuck. I'm still
really.
Yes. So that was the fire magically stopped and her house is fine.
Huh. Okay, go ahead.
If you're going to tell me that they didn't send the private firefighters over there too, go look at the footage from Caitlyn Jenner's house. It burned all the way up within like 3 feet of the pool where you're just like, oh, that's weird. Huh. Narrowly avoided it. And you're going to tell me they didn't send them over there? Fuck off. Of course they did. Right. But with that being said, they live in a cul-de-sac at the top of this fucking mountain. And if the way the fire was coming up, if they don't do it right there, it nukes out the rest of the neighborhood. So the neighbors were super beyond grateful of like, hey, thank you for doing this. But again, if you're not Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, no one can afford a fucking private set of firefighters. Because if you're rich enough, and again, I don't even know where to start with that. Like, is it a Craigslist ad?
Yeah.
Who do you even call for that?
Doesn't seem right.
I would imagine somebody got in touch with somebody and said, hey, how much to pay for all your off-duty people and come. Because allegedly, according to this article that I read, and this has been going on for a while.
Wouldn't they all just be working and get overtime?
Who?
Firefighters.
But they're shipping him in from other states. Right. So it's not.
So where are they getting?
I don't know.
Theirs.
But the thing is, you could also be hiring retired guys. Off-duty guys. I mean, look, we have a lot of firefighters that listen to the show. I'd be really curious as this answer. You can
what a short amount of time.
Message Ross Patterson Revolution Instagram or
to assemble
or the Facebook page for Ross Patterson Revolution. I know. And they were digging and like the methods that they described in this article was like, holy shit. I mean, these guys were working all night, for 2 days straight, digging ditches and water and all this other stuff. And I was like, fucking A. And they saved the neighborhood. They hired private firefighters. That is a level of rich of man. Because this is the house that they've been building for 5-6 years. You watch that Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Like it's been going on forever. Yeah. And they just bought a huge thing and then built this mega mansion there where, look, it is impressive. It is a goddamn compound.
Sure.
But to hire fire. That's amazing. I didn't know that. I didn't know you could be that rich to do that. That's
my gosh, that's
something to shoot for.
Above the
something to shoot for, isn't it? Yeah.
Wow.
So,
is it super rich or is it just fucking smart?
Both.
To just like find, like
both. If you can do it, fuck, why wouldn't you do it?
Why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah.
And they were the only ones, because a lot of those other people that lost their houses could afford to do it. So it's just the matter of like thinking of it, assembling the team.
But think about this. You would have to be super fucking famous to even make that call, right? You couldn't just be Joe Dick.
You don't think Gerard Butler could have made that call?
G-Butts? I think he could have. But I think they got hit too fast.
Oh, okay.
I think with where Kim Kardashian's house was, I mean, those people, because like he lives over by like Miley Cyrus and all them in Malibu.
Okay, so Malibu was done.
Malibu's it happened so fast. It was like, dude, you have 12 hours. Get the fuck out of here. You're gone. Like, that's it. Whereas where Kim Kardashian and them live, that you could see it coming up that mountain.
So you've got time.
Yeah, and look, we've lived there forever. Like, you can see it where it's just like, all right, this is going to be a problem in like a day and a half.
Right.
And I think they made that call, but fuck, man, I don't think you can get away with that if you're not famous.
No.
You know?
Well.
I always hearken back to that Range 15 story of Sean Astin.
What?
Where, he had that triathlon the day before.
Yeah.
In Hawaii. Mm-hmm. And by the time we finished shooting, it was heavy LA traffic and we were shooting in Pomona County.
Oh, yeah.
And he was the helicopter pilot in that movie. And he was like, hey, do you think I can get it? Because we got him, I think, a car service, like a limo or something, to drive him to set. And
he said, do you think I could take
the
helicopter back?
Do you think I could take the helicopter back? And I was like, we are not paying for that. That is way too expensive. However, if those people would like to do it for you, congratulations.
You've made it.
Yeah. I shook his hand, went on about my day because I had to set up for another shot. 5 minutes later, guess who's waving outside the helicopter flying home? And it was Sean Astin. And I was like, yeah, you've got to be famous for shit like that.
You have to.
Like super famous. That's the only way you can get away with shit like that.
You can't be Larry Appleton.
There it is. It is Larry.
That's the...
You finally found it.
I found it before everybody saw. Everybody saw the moment that I found it, and it was literally right after you told me to.
Yeah.
The character's name is Larry Appleton.
There it is.
Mark Lynn Baker.
Yeah, all right. But Larry it was Larry and Balky. Yeah. Fucking nailed it. God damn it, I feel alive again.
How did you...
I was a big perfect.
I did not.
That was one of those shows that was like a TGIF show when I was a kid.
Did you ever like My Two Dads or?
Yeah, all that shit.
Right.
Step by step.
So good.
Step by step. My Two Dads. What was the Urkel show? Family Matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got that when I was a kid. I got down on all that shit. Because you're
totally.
with your parents on a Friday night, eating pizza, eating Little Caesars.
Totally.
Ordering extra crazy bread.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And when your dad comes home with it, it's the fucking greatest evening ever. You watch a little TGIF with the fam.
So true.
Do they have that anymore?
TGIF kind of, but it's like there's no real staples because shows just drop, right? So now what is it like? Fresh Off the Boat and like all that shit. All that Blackish bullshit. Or whatever.
Yeah.
But
which isn't
I think
really
Friday
for
night,
kids.
No, but Friday night I think they know that nobody's home watching anymore.
Well, they would if they put on, because look, everybody's got families.
Totally.
So I remember Last Man Standing was on a Friday night before they canceled it. I mean, it's on Fox and now it's crushing, obviously.
Right.
But I mean, there were shows like that where it was just like, all right, great. Because I remember.
You know Family Matters was a spinoff of Perfect Strangers?
No, I did not actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, carry on.
Either way, both brilliant shows across the board.
Either way, you're right.
But I remember watching those with my parents, and I was like, hey.
Totally.
I felt fine.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
TGIF. It was like such a comforting blanket to put on.
It was great. Now they're rolling out Double Dare on Friday nights, by the way.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
On Nickelodeon. I get down on Double Dare.
I would love just like one channel with the TGIF block. Gosh, how amazing would that be?
I know. Netflix is trying to do shit like that, but it's you're too all over the board now.
No. There's not just one place to
Yeah.
go.
No, there's not. There's 90.
And there never will be again. So I better shut the fuck up about it, right? Stop being nostalgic about fucking everything.
You need to.
It's annoying.
Need to. Quick update on RBG. Bader Ginsburg.
Ruth Bader,
Yeah. A little tongue-tied today.
What's going on?
We had a little too much strike force. I'm going to be realsies with you.
Your brain is going faster than the mouth can go.
She's working from home after the fall.
Oh.
By the way, I was the most proud of myself I was for naming an episode. How Much for One Rib was the name of that episode. How much for one rib?
You should be proud.
Super stoked for that. She's working from home now, so come on. Is she? Can a Supreme Court justice work from home? That's not really a job where you can just work from home.
If she died, would they tell us?
Probably not.
Do you know what I mean? She's working from home. What if she has that agreement?
Bernie. Yeah. By the way, no lie, one of our listeners sent me a picture that said Weekend at Ginsburg's. And they got her propped up.
Yeah. And like Skyping from it. Yeah, she's fine. She's alive. No need to get a new one. We're all right. 2 years. For 2 years.
That's a long time to hide a dead body.
I think they made 2 Weekend at Bernie's, so it's definitely possible.
But it was only a weekend. Yeah. This is 2 years.
But it was a couple weekends 2 years apart is what it seemed like.
2 years at Ginsburg's.
Yeah. Wow.
No.
Wow. A bunch of weekends at Ginsburg's.
Anyway, she's still alive, so good for her.
Maybe, yeah.
I want to get into this CNN story that just broke this morning.
Okay.
They are suing the White House for banning Jim Acosta.
Oh.
Which I didn't know was a thing that you could do. And I still don't know legally if you can, right? You can sue for anything.
You can sue for anything.
Will it actually make it and live is another story.
I don't think they care about that. I just think they want people to say the phrase, CNN is suing the White House. I think that is enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to go any further than that. That's all they really want.
What's your feelings on Jim Acosta? I think he's a piece of shit. I think Jim Acosta is all about Jim Acosta. I don't think he really gives a fuck about any of this stuff.
For sure. I think he was, I think a lot of fake news, whatever, but I think they definitely try and get a rise out of him. And
at places they shouldn't. Where it's just like, hey man, this
like,
isn't the right place to do this.
I mean, they get what they want. So they got him to, lash out, I guess, at him. They got him banned, which is like great for them, right?
Right.
And now they're suing. So the whole arc is working for them, and they got exactly what they wanted to get out of putting this kind of belligerent, boisterous guy in the press room. It's already fucking hard to even get a question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that they put a guy that came right after him, the NBC reporter, handled it kind of the way you should, where he's like, I don't like you either. He's like, I understand. And just ask the question. It's like, listen, we know.
Yeah.
We know you don't like us. We don't love you, but we got to fucking do this. So
Jim Acosta is just trying to be famous,
Yeah. But I mean, CNN also is, right behind him.
God damn it.
They're supporting him.
They're awful.
They're supporting that kind of like, you're done. You asked a question. Like, there has to be some kind of protocol in there, right?
Yeah.
Or else it'd be a fucking...
We had these guests on yesterday on Drinking Bros that'll be on in a future episode, and they were talking about the whole CNN thing and what happens if Trump is gone.
Right.
They out of business. I would say in under 5 years. New York Times probably look. Trump said New York Times is out of business in under 7.
Yeah.
It's probably true.
Yeah.
If you go back to, let's say a Joe Biden gets in there, forget it. It is over. Because you can't, this stupid shit, like they live for this.
I personally would go back to a world where I never even turn on CNN. And I hadn't before this.
Yeah.
I never even went to CNN. That was the boring channel. To me.
Yeah.
That was just boring shit. They didn't have anything to talk about. Now it's like, hey, What story is breaking on CNN?
What's going on CNN?
I've never said
these
that
days?
before in my life.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just a fucking soap opera is all.
I would love to be bored by it.
Now, James, I want to get into something that you don't believe in. Super stoked about it. Super stoked about it. The Irish military, which I didn't know they had one. I thought it was just...
What'd you think they had? Nothing? Literally nothing. Wow.
I just figured they had like a bunch of dudes in bars and they were just
okay.
Hey.
And if anything happened...
Hey, guys. They just yell into the pub like, hey, guys, it's time to fight. Can you just put Can you put your shit down and come
whenever
out?
You're ready.
Yeah, we're
Finish
here.
your pint.
Finish your pint, and then let's go out and kick some ass.
Okay.
That's what I figured it was.
Sure.
It turns out they have a full arsenal.
Huh.
Yeah, they have a
full-on government
they
and
have
everything.
Air Force
wow.
and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
UFO sighting last night.
Okay.
You refuse to entertain this.
Explain it to me.
You refuse to entertain this. So they have recorded records of these pilots, obviously talking to the tower about what's going on.
Okay.
Again, same thing. It was moving so fast. It came up on our left-hand side and then rapidly veered to the north. It was very bright light that disappeared at a very high speed, something way faster than Mach 2. The air traffic controller said, hey, there's nothing showing on either primary or secondary radar. And the pilot said, look, I'm wondering then if we're on a collision course with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Another aircraft that was in the same area, and this is a pilot from, not military, this is a Virgin Airlines plane from Orlando to Manchester, described the site as a meteor or another object making some kind of re-entry. And then he saw multiple objects following the same sort of trajectory, very bright. And the other pilot chimed in and was like, look, I'm glad I'm not the only one that's seeing this. There's an investigation under process right now. Look, a spokesman always say the same thing. It's unlikely that it's aliens from another planet.
It sounds like meteors, right?
That's what a scientist is saying.
Oh, well, fuck them.
I don't think so, man. If you're up there and you see this thing going that fast and it's right in front of you and it's hovering and then it leaves, because the military guy says that it exited upwards. I don't know any fucking meteors that exit upwards.
And it came back up.
Every single sighting has pretty much been the same with this shit. Like, can we just come out and say what the fuck this is? I got confirmation. I want to, that's what I want to talk about today.
Okay.
I got confirmation of the alien and the alien aircrafts and all of this other shit.
Mm-hmm.
We've had, I'm not going to say who it is. We've had a lot of massive guests on Drinking Bros over the last month.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot that are coming on the next month. 2 different people of the highest military regard confirmed it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same story every fucking time. That they have it, our technology, we're trying to catch up with their technology, and we cannot.
So is it just always going to be a secret?
I don't think always. Look, you saw the Pentagon footage. You saw the Pentagon footage that was released, right?
Sure.
What's your explanation for that then?
What was it?
Come on. The Pentagon released the footage of the pilot in San Diego who was out over the ocean, and you saw the hovering disc right in front of him, up and down, going up and down. Like, it's about, if you go and Google it, it's probably about a 1 and 40-second video.
And it looks real to you?
Yeah, why would the fucking Pentagon release it?
I don't know.
And they say, hey, yes, there's a possibility of something else out there.
Okay.
I got confirmation of this.
Okay. You
still refuse to believe it.
I think it's been so long. It's kind of like, you know, when you've believed something or not believed something for so long that the confirmation that you need is a lot more concrete than what you're giving me. I still don't understand why we can't just know. If they really are here, if they really have come, I don't understand why we can't just know. Why. Why does it have to be a fucking secret?
Here's why.
That everyone has to believe or not believe.
It would freak out the general public.
Okay.
Everybody believes in God and Jesus and all that other stuff. And it's like, look, Jesus is risen and everything else. Like if a fucking alien came down, I think people would flock to worship something like that, something from a greater being or a higher power, or misconstrue it as that.
Okay, but if it's fact, then you gotta say it.
Yeah, but I think it would freak out so many people.
Okay.
I think you should say it too. But I'm a normal person.
Really
I'm a normal thinking person.
Okay. So the whole reason is because they think people would start worshiping it or freak out.
Yes.
Okay.
Like the general public, because look, everybody believes in some form of God, right? Most everybody.
Mm-hmm. Not everyone, but yeah.
Not everyone, but 95% of people in the world believe in some form of God, whether it be God and Jesus or Allah or whoever the fuck it is you pray to. If you added this in the mix, what's the explanation for that?
So let me ask you, as a believer, what do you think their end game is? If aliens really are coming here and like hovering and then leaving, what do they want? What are they doing?
I think it's the same thing that we're doing with other planets right now. Like when we're sending shit to Mars and all this other stuff.
Yeah, but we will land there. We will search for signs of life. We're like, hello,
right.
hello. So we wouldn't just be like, oh, we see people, let's get out of here. It would be like...
I think it's more or less to study and then leave or see what it is, much like our science is doing now.
Right.
Like I told you about Facebook sending out those cameras that are light years away. It's going to take them 20 years to get there to that other Earth that they've been talking about of like, hey, we found these other Earths, these other planets. In 20 years, we will come back with some sort of footage from these because it's obviously going to take time to get there. I think it's very similar where these other planets are sending out either ships or probes or cameras to figure out what's going on here and then take that information back. Much the same way we're doing with other planets. However, there's no life form on Mars. So like us sending a rover up to Mars, there's no life forms there.
Right.
So, all right, great. You can drop shit and go. If they're looking at it here and they're like, holy shit, there is life forms and they could attack and they see other aircraft and all this other shit. I mean, that would be a deterrent, obviously.
I just feel like if they're intelligent enough to make aircrafts to come here that are even more advanced than ours, then maybe they're intelligent enough to like understand what's going on here.
But it's that first meeting of what would happen. And God damn it, I know I sound crazy, but I got confirmation in a way from people that was like the exact same story. Three different people, the exact same story. All of it was the same shit that I had heard years ago. And I was like, oh, well, this all makes complete sense.
Right.
Because if you look at our aircrafts now and the way they're being built, they look exactly like those fucking saucers from back in the day where it's just, you're getting smaller and thinner and lighter and it's all controlled by like AI and all this other shit.
Stealth bombers and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish I could tell this story on air. Like I really wish I could share these stories, but I cannot.
But you can't.
No. But what I'll say is this, with the military aircraft, the way that it is going, it is starting to look more and more like the shit that we are seeing. And you're like, oh, all right, great. How the fuck do we find out that knowledge if it didn't land?
Yeah. I don't know what it would take. I think it would take
what's it going to take for you?
I think the secrecy of it just is so fucking weird to me. I don't understand why it has to be a secret. Well, all right. The place.
So did you listen to the Marcus Luttrell episode we did with,
yes.
When they were talking about the trained orcas and shit? Did you ever believe that would be a thing?
Training orcas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
really?
know.
Not in 1 million years where I was like, man, they're training fucking orcas to do shit? Like, what?
They're really intelligent.
I understand that.
Okay.
Why waste your time and or money and resources on training orcas with all of the technology and everything we have now?
Right.
Why do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess because they could swim to unlimited depths and not be detected by, I guess you see an orca in the ocean. It's not a fucking sub coming at you, so you wouldn't say anything.
Right.
But wouldn't you know by now? Oh, hey, that orca got a little too close.
Hey, I can see a look in his eye. He was wearing glasses.
And dolphins. They train dolphins and shit too, where it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah, that seems dumb. But yeah.
But that's another thing where it was just like, if I didn't hear that from people that were in it, I would never believe that. Like, that sounds dumb to me.
I don't know what it would take. I think it would take like someone that I trusted. Not you.
You fucking asshole.
You fucking asshole. I don't know. Maybe if CNN told me. I don't know. Maybe if they did a piece on MSNBC.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's going to take, but I'm just not there yet.
Okay.
I just don't understand what the end game. For me, I always have to know, like, what's the purpose? What's the end game? In order for, things to make sense to me, first of all, the secrecy has to be gone, because I think that's just, it makes everyone sound crazy and conspiratorial. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you've made people sound crazy about it. That I don't think is fair. So once you lift the secrecy of it, then I'm like, okay, they're being transparent about something that they found or whatever. I would maybe believe it.
All right.
But this little did you hear? Aliens still doesn't do it for me.
I wish I could. One day, hopefully we can have dinner with them and then just sit down, have a few shots together and say, all right, here's the fucking deal. Once it was explained to me.
Do you think it would work on me?
Once it was explained to me in a very detailed manner where it was just like people and places and things and all, like same story from 3 different people at 3 different times, and none of them were in the same room at the same time.
Neil deGrasse says it.
What is he? Yeah, you were watching deGrasse again, which is a great interview, by the way.
Great interview, but he says
on Joe Rogan,
he doesn't get too much into aliens. He gets into portals and astral projection and all of that. But he says if to convince someone, you have to ask them, like, what would it take? What would it take for you to believe? And if they still don't believe after you show them that, then it means they just never wanted to, right? There's no getting through, basically. Right. So for me, it's like, what would it take? I would have to think about it. And if we sit down and someone gives me what I say it will take, and I still don't believe, that means I just don't want to.
You can never open up your
mind. That I would
minds.
never open up myself to believe it. So I'm not sure, but what it would take, just a real explanation. Pictures would be great, but a real explanation from someone that I don't believe to be crazy.
I want you to look up this.
That is scientifically, or somebody that is based in facts, that is telling me from a really factual base, what their purpose is, what the purpose is of us, looking into it and dissecting stuff, what all the purpose of it is, and the purpose of the secrecy. If someone can explain all of that to me, sit down at dinner, whatever, I might go down the road of believing.
For the video show, can you put the Pentagon footage at the end of this?
Sure.
Just a 90-second, 2-minute thing.
Sure.
And then you explain that to me. Because that'd be really...
But people like Tom DeLonge and stuff, they really ruin it. But they really ruin it for you guys, because you just sound crazy because there's so many crazy people around you, okay, that are saying the exact same thing. Sure. So I'm sorry.
I'm in the Elon Musk category of, I can open up my mind to all of that shit and at least entertain it. Whether or not I believe it or not is another story.
And that's
I can at least entertain anything. I mean, when he said that simulated world shit, I could at least entertain that.
So you could go down that road.
100%. I could if he was on the show, if Elon Musk was on the show, I could sit down and have a 2-hour conversation about a simulated world.
Okay.
And how or why it works and all that other stuff, and at least entertain it.
Right.
The things that I can't entertain in this world are different.
Like what?
A lot different.
Are you going to insult me?
No.
Okay.
Like people who say this was meant to be, or this happened for a reason.
No. I
can't get into all of that. I just,
I like to keep calm when something happens and be like, all right, what's our next step? But I don't think everything happens for a reason by some divine, right?
Yeah, I mean, because for me, like too much bad shit happens in the world where I'm just like, man, what's the reason behind that?
I think it's a cop out, basically, of like.
That's what I think. So like people who say that all the time and live by that, I can't entertain
all happens for a reason, and that's a way to just kind of and not take accountability for you actually.
Right. So I'm a big believer in hard work and all that other shit, and it's just like, well, your reason is that you worked hard. If something awful happens to you, what's the reason for that? Like if you didn't put a seatbelt on your child, something happened in the car.
Right.
Yes, that is the reason is you're a shitty parent.
Yes.
So things like that where it's just like...
I was just watching this this new Netflix show. So it's like a weekly thing called Follow This.
Okay.
And they were just doing a piece on heroin addicts all over. So in Seattle, they're lobbying to open up a safe injection site is what they're called.
For heroin addicts.
For heroin addicts, where you can go in, you get a little booth,
you
inject, you get clean needles, clean cookers, clean everything. You inject, do your business in the booth.
Right.
It's to prevent overdoses, basically. They do them all. There's like 180 in the world, but none in America.
Okay.
So the first one, they have them in Canada.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And
but heroin's illegal. So you're bringing in heroin into these. So there's no police out there saying, "Oh, hey, you have heroin on you." So
basically, the site is the way that they make it a safe space is because the police are not allowed to raid it and they're not allowed to come in unless. So they have trained professionals there that if you do OD, they have all the things, the injection, the oxygen, all of the things to bring you back.
Wow.
They do not call the ambulance, So they've had no deaths in these sites.
Okay.
But there's this thing, it's just like, it kind of goes along with what we're saying as far as just taking accountability
for yourself and
your actions, and the thing of like, it's a disease and I'm addicted and like all I need is like a safe booth and then I could like not overdose. So they did, they talked to two different people. So it's like the heroin addicts and then the people that have gotten clean, and we're like, dude, I just had to look at I can't do that shit anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I know how you feel about those.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous, right?
Because if you're going that route, legalize all drugs. And then, look.
And then you can just make sure that everyone doesn't OD or whatever. So they're saying like taking the shame away from it is the idea that like.
It's the shame of shooting up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look. And
should you take the shame away from it though? It's like one of the worst drugs you can ever.
Yeah. But if you're going down that road. Legalize everything and then leave it up to
take the shame away and then just like see how your streets
look.
And
then leave it up to Darwinism at that point. So it's just like, all right, great. If you fucking die, you die.
I guess.
That's the same way I feel about the opioid crisis that's going on.
Yeah.
Where
it feels a little bit like a cop out.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, hey, we've got to take it. All these people are getting addicted. People are getting addicted to food.
And people are blaming. So they're talking to a lot of these people that are going into these heroin
alcohol,
sites or whatever. Yeah.
People get addicted to smoking, to a lot of things, but that's your own thing.
Right. So they're like blaming. So what happens is they get an injury. This is like the classic story. I get an injury. I hurt my arm. The doctor overprescribed me. He didn't realize that I was getting addicted and he just kept prescribing.
Yeah.
You definitely kept asking him. You definitely gave no signs that do you know what I mean? Like you got him to give you those prescriptions. Believe me, it's hard these days.
Really fucking hard.
So one of our best friends really try.
One of our best friends was just in the hospital, and same thing. Where like she was in an immense amount of pain, and they were like,
take ibuprofen.
Her husband, her husband was like, give her some fucking pain.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but there's an opioid crisis going on. Don't give a fuck. Yeah. She's in the hospital. Right. Like, shoot her up full of shit. Let her deal with her own life when she gets out of there. It's not
if you don't feel yourself becoming addicted to something and just being like, you know what, dude, I've got to fucking stop this.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of the story. So it's a lot of like blaming the doctors, and then it's like blaming, then it's like, I just need a safe place. Like I can't be looking over my shoulder all the time. And
ridiculous, legalize all of it. Let Darwinism sort it out. It's the same with everything else.
normalizing it. You're just making it like, okay.
Yeah.
Take the shame away from heroin. What the fuck are you talking about? It's this whole culture of just like shifting blame. Nobody, like the thing of like, you know, therapy is like up. Of people going to, every single person we know is in therapy because their parents fucked them up, right? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
We all had something.
Right.
If you want to blame your parents for something, you can. If you want to shift the blame, if you don't want to just like move on with your life, figure your shit out, onwards and upwards, you can always go back to your childhood and find something shitty. Believe me.
Yeah.
I promise you. If you look hard enough, there'll be somebody that wasn't nice to you, or some fucking shit, or some magician that made you put your hand in the hat.
And there was no
rabbit.
It was a dick and balls.
Feel the rabbit that puked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can find it if you want to. Or, you know, you can take responsibility for yourself. Realize that your parents are just fucking people, unless it was like really something bad. I don't want to like, right?
Sure.
I'm talking about these people that are just like, oh, I just wasn't hugged enough, and I think that's why. Yeah. Something like that, right? So if you just want to like take responsibility for yourself, move forward, realize your parents are just people. Do you remember when that happened for you?
Yeah, well, like today, or yesterday, your mom said, she was just like, yeah, Jessie was an angry baby who cried all the time. And then your dad just put you in the crib at like 2 months and, you know, just left you there.
Sure.
You could go back to that over and over again for the rest of your life if you wanted to. And just say, it started at birth.
Hey, listen, I've got plenty of things, okay? I don't need to search, but it's okay. Like, that's the thing. It's okay. You know, our kids at some point are going to, I don't know if you remember when you made that shift of like, oh shit, my parents are just people. They aren't like, you know what I mean? Everything, and they need to give me everything, and they were supposed to be my heroes, right? At a certain point you go, usually when you have kids or when you start to get into the real world, you go, oh shit, they were just fucking people, right? Just trying to fucking do their best.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's all it was. And that's how you move on. When you stop blaming your parents or your childhood for like how you are, you can move forward, right?
I agree. I 100% agree. And it's the same with look, all of this shit that's going on. Again, you want to fucking have safe spaces for heroin, legalize everything, and then
Jesus, the housing prices around that site will just skyrocket, huh?
Man.
Jesus Christ!
Look at
the one they went into Vancouver. It was like all around was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
And then you go into this place and it's like clean and beautiful, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you walk back out onto the street because that's fucking life.
That's life.
You can't live your.
Well, you could live in that safe space.
Yeah, if you quit doing fucking heroin and got your shit together, maybe you could have a nice apartment where you can safely watch Netflix and go to fucking work the next day like everybody else.
People just want shit to bitch about. I mean, you look at this Amazon deal that went through last night. You know, this has been going on for a while of like, hey, we're going to pick a city, everybody compete, put in competing bids for where we're going to build the next Amazon headquarters.
Okay.
So last week they announced, hey, we're actually going to split it into two. We got a bunch of awesome bids. So we're going to have two headquarters on the East Coast. And we're going to split it up to two different cities. Last night it got announced who it was. It was New York, in particular Long Island. This is going to be in Long Island City.
Okay.
Is one. Very odd.
Yeah.
Odd choice, but that's a fuck ton of jobs that'll be coming to New York. You're probably looking at 50,000 jobs at a minimum there. And then they split it up to Arlington, Virginia. It was the other one.
Okay.
Again, fuck ton of jobs that are coming there.
Do they need a lot of jobs in Long Island?
Yeah, everywhere I would say. I mean, look, New York is, you've obviously been there many times. Like, New York's expensive, man. And it's, you know, you're driving in from all these other places to get the high paying jobs in the city. Well, look, if it's in your own backyard and you're getting a decent wage, that saves you travel.
Okay.
You get to be closer to your family.
Okay.
It's great. Amazon's providing jobs to a shit ton of people.
Right. So what's people's beef?
Everybody's bitching. Oh, of course it's Arlington. It's already so expensive anyway. Now it's just going to be even more expensive. And I'm like, fucking shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Somebody's bringing in 50,000 jobs apiece. They're investing $5 billion into these cities. Be grateful. Be fucking grateful that Amazon is coming in.
Should it have been a city like Chicago or something that needed
There's a bunch
no of money put into it?
But there's a bunch of cities that need money put into it.
Okay.
So you could go anywhere and do this. Because look, if you look at Arlington, right? Mm-hmm. You can space that out to all of Virginia, anywhere within a 50-mile radius. You know, like they're going to be coming in to work at Amazon. Like it's just a hub, man.
Right.
They're going to be building more of these across the nation. These are the first two. These are going to keep going. Like it's whoever offered the best deals.
There you go.
This was who it was.
There you go.
So congratulations.
They won.
But people are bitching today. Why dare? We're not there. You know what? Build your own fucking Amazon. Become your own Jeff Bezos, and then you can make all your decisions. You can put these wherever you want.
Yeah, people
that somebody's coming in, building massive companies, offering jobs to a fuck ton of people. Come on, man.
People get confused. Like Amazon and Facebook are like a right and not a privilege. Do you know what I'm saying? You get confused that these are a company, a corporation owned by one guy, both of them. And they can literally do whatever they want. And that's it. It's not government. It's not, it's not somebody, it's not taking your rights away or changing laws. It's literally a corporation doing whatever they want.
Yeah. So look,
don't be confused.
Yeah, it's in Northern Virginia and in Long Island, and great, man. Okay. It's fucking jobs for people.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the bitching like that it wasn't your place. Why? Like it's jobs no matter where. Every place in America needs jobs. Hopefully Amazon opens up 1 million of these goddamn things. Like who gives a shit? Because we all know brick and mortar and all that stuff, malls are going to be gone anyways. So it's like, dude,
that's all.
You better kiss Amazon's ass because that's what it's going to be, unless another company, Walmart or something comes along. But man,
they're trying. But
they're trying, and they're doing a fantastic job, of it. So look, we need more Walmarts, we need more Amazons, all that stuff. I am personally stoked about it, and fucking A, it's great. It's great. Stop bitching about jobs. Now's the point in the show where we get to the revolutionary figure of the day, shall we?
We shall.
This is an easy one.
Okay.
This is probably the easiest one we've ever had. It's Stanley. Let's be real about it.
Oh yeah.
Stanley passed away.
Yeah.
He's 95. He lived a fucking crazy, unbelievable life. And last night, obviously everybody's fans of everything he's ever done in Marvel and all that stuff. But last night, what I found cool about the people who were leaving tributes and stuff on Facebook was it was more of a celebration of his life rather than a sad, tragic passing where you're like, oh man, we lost so-and-so too soon or whatever. Mm-hmm. Didn't. That guy rocked it till 95.
Oh, dude.
And he was still like, making cameos in all of these movies and all this stuff. Like, he was the best. There was a mutual agent that I work with on some other people for sports and autographs and all that other shit. And he worked with him for a while. And everyone across the board just said he was the nicest guy of all time.
Right.
So for him to have created, not only be a great guy through all of this for this many years with how powerful he was, but to have created this many characters that last this long, just as last night I was going through his list, just trying to, of all the characters he's created, just trying to go through it from a writing perspective of creating that many memorable characters that have lived for this many years. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And there will probably not be another one like him, superhero wise or in that universe ever. I mean, you're lucky to come up with one of these characters once in your life, let alone hundreds. Like, it's insane. So Stan Lee, man, you changed a lot of people's lives for the good, including Mark Ruffalo. What would that guy be doing right now?
Exactly.
What would Ruffalo be doing right now if he wasn't the Hulk?
Just weird indies.
Yeah. What do you think Edward Norton's doing?
Right.
What happened to him after that?
I know.
Just that's it. Nobody cares unless you're in a superhero movie.
He's probably hanging out with Dido. You owe everything to Eminem.
Yeah.
You owe your entire life
to Eminem, Dido.
Do you remember going back and listening to her catalog after that?
Yeah, well,
just crying.
Do you remember listening to her catalog and then realizing that it was actually her song first?
Yeah.
And then he took it and you're like, oh.
Wait a minute. Yep.
Shit. He made a hip hop version of her song, not the other way around.
And no one would have ever listened to it otherwise. Hands washing, washing hands, scratching backs, tickling taints, whatever you do.
Nothing like a nice little taint tickle. Huh?
Little pepper grinder.
Yeah, Jill Scott. We see you.
All right.
We see you, Jill Scott. If you have the time to look up the Jill Scott video, highly recommend
They'll find the time, I think.
Highly recommend.
I think they'll find the time.
Best 37 seconds you'll see in your life, and it'll give you a whole new perspective on Jill Scott. Now you're going to go back and listen to her catalog and trying to figure out those lyrics.
There you go.
Pepper grinder.
It's a good technique.
Yeah, it is. It is. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. the Pepper Grinder.
No! Easy.
I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good night, everyone. Weird show. Weird show.
I'm more like the salt shaker.